Hi guys, Jared getting back with you here on the Pacific Northwest map. Welcome to episode 19 of our little Let's Play Farming Simulator 19. So as you may have seen in the opening clips, I am currently doing a harvesting contract in field 35 here, which happens to be the biggest field on this entire map. And as I mentioned previously in other episodes, when it comes to contract work, harvesting is definitely the one to go for because it has the best payout. And when you're talking about fields that are this big, it can get pretty nice. It can also get very time consuming. The one bad thing about it is it's a supply and demand kind of thing when it comes to the way that the prices work in the game. And I've already sold hundreds of thousands of liters of barley to the agro wholesale store. And so the price of barley has plummeted to some extent. It's actually dropped about $600 in the entire process of me doing the contract work. I actually started out up here in field 33, which also had barley in it. I harvested that field and then I started on this one. It took me about 3 hours to do this. I've been using a helper to do most of it. That way I can just kind of keep the grain moving and keep it, just keep things flowing and try to speed the process up as much as I can. But it's still taken over 3 hours just to do this one field. The payout on it, the initial payout is supposed to be, it's actually done now. So the initial payout was $37,394. But the lease cost for this equipment that I'm using is $4,155. So it comes out to $33,239 in the end. So that in itself, it might be a little bit crappy considering that it took me over 3 hours to do it. It's really not that bad though, but that's not the best part of it. The best part of it is that what's left in this tipper trailer here on the semi is mine. And as you can see, it's near 45,000 liters what's in the trailer itself, but that doesn't include what's in the harvester here, which by the time she gets to the very end of the field, the harvester is going to be almost full again. So you're getting, for me to do this, I'm getting that $33,000, and then I'm also getting a whole semi-trailer full of grain to do what I want with. I could go put it in my silo if I really wanted to. I don't have to sell it right now. I could put it in my silo and store it, over 50,000 liters of barley. I could just have it sitting in my silo until the prices go back up on barley, which isn't a bad idea. So if you guys can see my money there, clearly you can tell that I've been working very hard. These 2 fields, these aren't the only contracts that I've done. I've probably done about 6 to 8 of them since the last video that I made. I also mentioned in the previous video that I was going to work on my own fields and put canola in fields 22 and 11. Well, I did that, and I also harvested those fields. So sorry I didn't do that on camera, but I actually sold that canola plus some that was in my silo, and I got about $50,000 off of that. So if you were wondering, no, I didn't cheat. I've just been working a lot, and I know it's been a while since I've made a video, and I apologize for that. But I've mentioned previously, I'm not always going to be able to do this consistently on a regular basis. I'll just do the best I can as far as putting new videos up for those that are actually following the Let's Play series. I'll do the best I can. There might be some points where there are pretty big gaps in time between the episodes that I do upload. And I'm a busy guy, so I'll just do the best I can. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sell this. I'm not going to keep it. It'll give me another $50,000, a little more, maybe 60, to just go ahead and sell it. There's no reason for me to keep it. The good thing about so much time having passed by is that we're actually in a financial position now where we can do the things I had talked about doing in the previous episode, and that was purchasing a baler, a wrapper, all the equipment that we need to start selling silage, bales of silage. So we can go ahead and do that in this episode. And even after we buy all those things, we're still going to have a pretty good chunk left over. I've thought about different things, like perhaps purchasing more land. That's also an option. Something to consider for sure. Okay, so we're ready to let this go. It's beautiful. All right, here we go. Let's watch our money go up. I've discovered that contract work, let's see, 59,000, yeah, it was close to 60,000. I've discovered that contract work on this map is very, very, very worth it to do. Like I said, it took me 3 hours to do that, but I made $90,000 off of it. Because you have these enormous fields, you have a very good advantage when it comes to doing contract work. It's a very good way to spend your time in the beginning, which is where I still consider us being at this point. We're still very early on things. There's a lot of things we can do, a lot of directions we can go in. By the way, I apologize for my voice. I'm just trying to talk softly because it's pretty late at night and I don't want to wake my family up. I should probably be sleeping right now, but I'm working on the Let's Play. at the moment. So I haven't been neglecting my sheep. They're still eating off of what I initially gave them. They still got water. Been trying to keep everything clean. We've actually got uh, a reproduction rate going on, but we're almost full. We're almost at capacity for the amount of wool that we're able to store in this box. What I may do is go ahead and sell it, either that or I'll just move it over to the side so that they'll keep producing the wool, so I can go ahead and work on that. I do have a plan beyond just baling and wrapping grass and making silage that way. I want to keep working with these other contracts, primarily in the biggest fields. The fields that I've been working in the most are these here, obviously, and then these two over here. There's a way you do it. Basically, as time progresses, it'll show you the different states of the fields, just like it shows you the states of your own fields. It shows you the states of every other field on the map. So if you're looking for something to harvest, well, there's actually two. There's two fields on the map currently that could be harvested. That right there is red, because you have to remove the tops. That is a sugar beet right there, and I don't like messing with sugar beet because it is very time consuming to do that. So I don't usually mess with that. I'm sure the payout would be great, but it's something that's beyond my threshold for patience. Sugarcane and sugar beet and potatoes. If it was a smaller field, I might go for it, but that field is gigantic, and no, I'm not willing to do that at this point. So, anyway, if you just pick the best fields and you keep track of what needs to be done in those fields, like I just harvested 33 and 35. Well, eventually something's going to come up on here, and it's going to be sowing. It might be plowing, it might be fertilizing. You can do the work in these fields that you don't own just like they were your own fields. You can do the same work, and you can do it in a step-by-step process. And if it is a large field, then the payout for each step is going to be pretty good. I've fertilized these fields. I actually sowed this field here, 35, and I got $40,000 to sow field 35, which is actually more than she paid me to harvest it just now. So, I mean, if you do that, then you can bring in pretty good money on a regular basis, is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to come over here and grab my front loader, and I'll go ahead and get these pallets of wool out of the way so my sheep won't stop producing wool on me. I've never been very good with moving pallets with a front loader either. This tractor's so high up that it's going to be kind of at an awkward angle. There we go. Guess I'll move these over to that shed on the far end of my property, the one that's across the street. Okay, so this is the last one for now. By the way, I had a whole point a minute ago. I just kind of started talking about contract work again. As I was saying, I do have bigger plans beyond just wrapping grass bales and selling them. Ultimately, what I want to do is purchase more land. I'm going to start out with a property that's close to where I'm already at here, maybe 20 or 21. I would like it to be a bigger size field. Like, that's pretty good there. That one's good too. 7 is pretty decent. But ultimately, what I want to do is purchase the biogas plant. And as you can see, it's almost $400,000. But when I purchase this, I'm going to be able to sell silage in bulk. So basically, at that point, I'll already have a bigger slice of land, and I'll be able to plant corn. In order to do this, I'm going to have to either get an attachment to go on my tractor to chaff the corn, like that right there. I'll have to start out with something like that, or I'll just, wait until I have the money to buy a forage harvester outright. And that's going to take some time to do, but I don't think it's impossible. I mean, I've made a pretty substantial amount of money in a pretty short amount of time just by doing the contract work. This map is very, very lucrative when it comes to contract work. I think this is one of the better maps that I've actually done contract work on because the fields are so big. So that's what I like to do, you guys, is end up with the biogas plant, end up growing corn and foraging it, chaffing it, putting it in the bunkers down at the BGA, fermenting it, and then selling it to the biogas plant. Because, as I mentioned before, all this stuff, the prices on all these crops will fluctuate, and the more you sell, the more the price is going to go down. But when you have the biogas plant, we can't see it right now, but once we do have the biogas plant, we can sell silage there, and it's the only place on the map where you can sell something and the price never fluctuates. Now, this is a mod created map. It's not a map that came from the game, and so the map creator has complete control over all the prices. When they made the map, they set what the prices would be on each thing. Like, if you notice, if you look at wool right there, wool seems to be priced a little bit better on this map than it is on other maps that I've played, especially in-game maps. So what my point is the price of silage could be very, very good at the BGA, but we won't know until we actually own the BGA. When we buy the BGA, it's going to come up on this list of sell points, and then we'll know. We'll be able to see how much we'll make for everything that you can actually sell at the BGA. You can sell more than silage there, but I think it's going to be pretty good. And then from that point out, I think, granted that it's actually good enough, this is going to be our main source of income right here. And we can grow from here. We could possibly keep things fairly simple as far as the different crops that we're growing. We could just exclusively grow corn and forage it and exclusively sell silage. All the while, we could be saving up money to invest in animals, cows, and horses, and just more sheep, possibly. And we could primarily be dealing in livestock instead of just exclusively growing cereal crops or whatever else. You know, I kind of like that idea. I kind of want to head in that direction. I've never really done that in the game before, so I think it would be pretty cool to do a let's play on it where I'm just exclusively a livestock farmer and I sell silage on the side. Then we might even be able to get into some kind of specialty. Like I was saying before, I don't really want to mess with the sugar cane or the sugar beet, but we could do potatoes. I don't mind doing potatoes, and they usually sell pretty good. So these are just ideas, things I want to try. Okay, but for now, I'm going to head down to the store. There is one thing I want to do first, though. I would like to wash my tractor. I can't make excuses anymore saying I don't have enough money to buy a pressure washer. So I'm going to go ahead and buy one of these, and then I'm going to wash at least my main tractor. I'm going to wash it right now because it's very, very dirty. I want it to look clean and new again because it is new. By the way, I did purchase one of these again, and it has been very convenient. So I might end up selling that other thing that I got on the last episode where you can buy lime and seed and herbicide. Might end up getting rid of that because I don't really need it anymore. That looks so much better, don't you think? Alright, anyway. We can head down to the store now. We can also go ahead and purchase the lime spreader. The good one that doesn't require you to fill it up with bags only. Can actually afford to do that now. Alright, here at the store. So I'm going to start out purchasing this. By the way, there is a new mod that came out not long ago that kind of replaces this. Just like this, it has a very nice low price. It's good to start out with when you have small fields. It accepts lime and solid fertilizer. The good thing about it is you don't have to use a bag to fill this up. Whoever made this, they fixed the issue that's going on with this one where you have to have a bag to fill it up. The only downside to it is you can't expand it, you can't make it bigger. And as you guys know and you've seen just from watching me, lime goes very, very, very fast. And that is a tiny capacity. It's only 1,200 liters. So if it held as much as this one, then I might just buy this. But as it is, you know, that's just not going to go far. I mean, that will go so fast when you put lime in it. So I am gonna go ahead and purchase this. Okay, and straight from there, we will go ahead and look at the baling technology. Okay, right off, I know I'm gonna have to get this. Although I did acquire a mod here, which is basically the same thing, almost the same price. It's like $1,000 cheaper. And this one has options on it as well. Another thing I'm going to need for sure is the wrapper. And like I said, I haven't even used this yet. I purchased the Anderson DLC back in March, and I still haven't even tried this thing. So I think I'm going to get this. We're also going to need a loading trailer. So I know it's not very realistic, and this might irritate some people, but I'm going to use the unrealistic cheap mod. One last thing I am going to need for sure is a flatbed trailer to put the pallets of wool on. Looks good to me. Alright, so now we have a whole bunch of new equipment that we have to haul back up to the farm. It's an arsenal of stuff. And I'm just gonna take this stuff up top real quick, and then I'll go ahead and end the episode. We'll get into using all this stuff in the next episode. This episode has gone on for long enough, so just let me find a good spot for all this stuff, and then we can go ahead and close it out here. There is one thing that I just thought about. It wouldn't hurt to go ahead and buy the rear mowers to go with the front mower that I already have. It also wouldn't hurt to buy a tedder and a windrow. I don't technically need a tedder or a windrow, unless I was going to make hay bales. Because the mower that I have has an adjustable swath on it, so it pretty much does the windrowing as you cut the grass. But the thing is, if you go to use a tedder on the swath that the mower made to dry the grass out and turn it into hay, it spreads it back out, so then you have to go back over it with the windrow. Eventually I'm going to need those things, because eventually I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up with cows, so I'm definitely going to need hay for the cows to make the total mix ration. So I will need that stuff eventually. I don't need it right now necessarily, so I'll probably hold off on it just now, but I'm gonna have to get that stuff eventually. I just bought a bunch of stuff though, so I'm not really in a huge hurry to buy anything else right now. There are some placeable things that I'm a little interested in getting. I kind of want to replace the greenhouse that I had back on the old stream farm. Maybe not with the exact same thing, but some kind of supplemental income, something that's going to bring in money on the side. Wouldn't be a bad idea to invest some of this money in something like that. Okay, that's everything. It's all up here. And just in time for nightfall. So here's a look at what we've got. Got the wrapper, the baler, the lime spreader, and our 2 trailers. In case you were wondering why I had to have 2 trailers, it's because this auto stacking trailer is exclusively for bales. It only auto stacks bales. You can put stuff on it, but the thing is, it doesn't have straps. You can't strap anything, so you can't really put anything on it and drive around. It'll fall off. This trailer, on the other hand, you can put bales on it, but it doesn't auto stack, but it does have straps. I need those straps for the wool pallets when I take them to go sell, so I had to have that trailer for that reason. So anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoy my farming simulator videos in general. Hope you enjoy them. I'll see you guys in the next one very, very soon. Time to head to bed. In the game and in real life. So, Jared here with Water the Nation's Rage, signing out. See you later. So on and so forth.